भूतान् लब्ध शरणानि च भेद बुद्ध्या द्रक्ष्यन्तगच्छदृशो हि मन्यवस्तान् गृध्रारुषामकुष्यन्त दण्डनेतुः ये मे तनुर्द्विजवरान् दुहतिर्मदीया भूतान् लब्धशरणानि च भेदबुद्ध्या द्रक्ष्यन्तगच्छदृशो हि मन्यवस्तान् गृध्रारुषामकुष्यन्त दण्डनेतुः ये मे तनुर्द्विजवरान् दुहतिर्मदीया भूतान्यलब्धशरणानि च भेदबुद्ध्या द्रक्ष्यन्तगच्छदृशो हि मन्यवस्तान् गृध्रारुषामकुष्यन्त दण्डनेतुः. Synonyms, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ye, which persons, may, my, tanu, body, Dvijavaran, the best of the Brahmanas, Duhati, cows, Madhya, relating to me, Bhutani, living entities, Alabdha Sharanani, defenseless, Cha, and Bheda Buddhya, considering as different, Drakshanti, see, Agha, by sin, Chata, is impaired, Drisha, whose faculty of judgment, he, because, Ahi, like a snake, Manyava, angry, Than, those same persons, Gridha, Gridra, the vultures like messengers, Rusha, angrily, Mama, my, Kushanti, tear, Adhidandya, Netu, of the superintendent of punishment, Yamaraj. Translation. The Brahmanas, the cows, and the defenseless creatures are my own body. Those whose faculty of judgment has been impaired by their own sin look upon these as distinct from me. They are just like furious serpents, and they are angrily torn apart by the bills of the vulture-like messengers of Yamraj, the superintendent of sinful persons. The defenseless creatures, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, are the cows, brahmanas, women, children, and old men. Of these five, the brahmanas and cows are specifically mentioned in this verse because the Lord is always anxious. The Lord is always anxious about the benefit of the brahmanas and the cows and is prayed to in this way. I'm sorry, I missed it. Of these five, the brahmanas and cows are specially mentioned in this verse because the Lord is always anxious about the benefit of the brahmanas and the cows and is prayed to in this way. Therefore, the Lord specially instructs that no one should be envious of these five, especially the cows and brahmanas. In some of the Bhagavatam readings, the word duhatra is used instead of duhati. But in either case, the meaning is the same. Duhati means cow, and duhitra can also be used to mean cow because the cow is supposed to be the daughter of the sun god. Just as children are taken care by the parents, women as a class should be taken care of by the father, husband, or grown-up son. Those who are helpless must be taken care of by their respective guardians. Otherwise, the guardians will be subjected to the punishment of Yamraj. who is appointed by the Lord to supervise the activities of sinful living creatures. The assistants or messengers of Yamraj are likened here to vultures, and those who do not execute their respective duties in protecting their wards or are compared to serpents. Vultures deal very seriously with serpents, and similarly, the messengers will deal very seriously with neglectful guardians. So, Mangalacharya. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वतदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we are reading this wonderful pastime where there's this discussion happening between Bhagwan and the four Kumaras. It is being narrated by Lord Brahma, being explained by Lord Brahma to Devatas. Because the Kashyap Muni's sons in the womb of mother Diti are causing the darkness, spreading the darkness in the entire world, and that's disturbing the Devatas. And because of that, they have approached Lord Brahma to understand the situation, and Lord Brahma is giving the telling them the why it is happening. And they say in that process, Lord Brahma has explained so far that the four Kumaras are trying to have darshan of Sri Bhagavan, and when they are trying to enter the Vaikuntha Loka, or inside Vaikuntha Loka, they are trying to enter the Dham, the quarter of Sri Bhagavan. They are stopped by the Jai and Vijay, and that is being taken as an offense by the Brahmanas, the four Kumaras, and they have cursed the two doorkeepers. Okay? And then till now in the 16th chapter, Sri Bhagavan has established that the punishment given is his desire and it is actually suitable. So now in this particular one, he is giving another reason why he has last four verses starting from verse number 7. he actually is giving various reasons why. He goes on and then says so much so that um, Bhagwan is saying, he's using Ati Shakti Alankar, and he's saying that, even if my own hand, you know, is actually um, does an offense, I will amputate my own hand. With that, he's actually trying to underline that what is the importance of his devotees. Bhagwan is saying that um, Lord's lotus feet is purified because he is serving his devotees, and it's so much so pure that everyone is uh, seeking the attention of goddess of fortune, but she is actually, because she's not she's serving the lotus feet because it has been purified so much by the service rendered to his devotees. So in this way, Bhagwan is actually glorifying the Brahmanas. And in this specific verse, Bhagwan is mentioning three things, or three creatures: Brahmanas, cows, and defenseless creatures. And he's saying that these are nothing but my own body. And anyone who is not taking care of, or is differentiating, uh, between me and these living entities, especially the defenseless creatures, um, brahmanas and cows, is actually like a serpent. Okay, bheda buddhya. If they are doing the differentiation, uh, then they are actually considered as serpents, and they will be just like a serpent is torn apart by the vultures. Similarly, these people will go to the hellish planets. Okay. And then Srila Prabhupada is actually mentioning about 5 living beings who need protection, you know, are defenseless, and that's why they need protection, are the cows, brahmanas, women, children, and old men, okay, or old persons. Okay. So we'll actually try to reflect on these today. So we discussed that in the context. Now let's look at brahmana. So this is Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in the purport to this verse. He says that what to speak of those who do not tolerate offenses of brahmanas? Those who see difference between me and a brahmana go to hell. The same thing being said. Those persons who see my form as different from the brahmanas, the cows, and those without shelter go to hell. Okay. So here he is actually talking about that what to speak of, if a brahmana is using harsh words and then you are not tolerating, even if that toleration is must, because a chastisement received from Lord will not be frowned upon by anyone. So similarly, a chastisement being received from a brahmana should be considered as a blessing. We also say brahmana devata. Okay. So that's the understanding. And on the similar line, Divine Srila Prabhupada, what he is saying, yes, train up the brahmanas very carefully. Many Indians and foreigners criticize us how we can create brahmanas. They are under the impression that brahmanas are born like horses and asses are born. According to Bhagavad Gita, brahmanas are according to guna and karma. So the training of brahmana should be so nice that people will be forced to accept them as Brahmanas by guna, quality, and karma action. So we have to understand that the Brahmanas being mentioned here are not the Brahmanas by birth. The Brahmanas being mentioned here are uh, the Brahmanas who have gone through the samskara, whose man, krama, and uh, vachan is aligned with the shastra. They are uh, they are rendering the service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are engaged in the reading of the shastra. They are engaged in understanding and uh, propagating the message of Supreme Lord. It's this is our Vedic culture. Um, Acharya has explained that culture means respect, and here, so nicely, uh, Supreme Personality of Godhead is spelling out the what is the Vedic culture, and the Vedic culture is providing the uh, providing shelter to brahmanas, cows, and other defenseless creatures. Uh, Now we offer this prayer, every day whenever we do the offering to we offer bhoga. Namo Brahmana Devyaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha, Jagad Hitaya Krishnaya, Govindaya Namo Namah. I'm offering my obeisances, to that Govinda, who is the well-wisher of the Brahmanas and the cows. And is the well-wisher of this world. Jagad Hitaya, and then Go Brahmana Hitaya. This is a verse from Vishnu Purana. My Lord, you are the well-wisher of the cows and the Brahmanas, and you are the well-wisher of the entire human society and world. Um, why such a special position? Prabhupada explains that the special position for Brahmanas and cows are because Brahmanas are they are engaged in propagating the knowledge of the Vedas, and then cow is of course cow is very dear to Krishna. That's why he takes he enjoys in the role of a cowherd boy. That's his eternal Swayam Rupa Krishna. In his Swayam Rupa, he is actually um, engaged in serving the cows, and also cows actually every cow provides panchagavya. Any sacrifice, any spiritual any rites cannot be complete without panchagavya. What is panchagavya? Milk, yogurt, ghee, cow urine, and cow dung. And we now a person not who does not have understanding of the Vedas can frown upon that. Oh, um, how can the cow dung or cow urine um, be a be a thing which can be used uh, in a rite, in a sacrificial rite? But we have to understand that uh, the purity of a item is actually defined by the Shastra. It's the Shastra which defines whether something is pure or impure. For example, the bone of any human being or any living entity is considered as impure, but the conch shell is again a bone, but it is considered pure and is used in various activities, as much as that when we give when we do abhishek, we bath Supreme Personality of Godhead, we use conch to offer the argya. Okay? Um, Here Prabhupada is saying further, The purport is that the special mention is given that in that prayer for the protection of cows and brahmanas. Brahmanas are the symbol of spiritual education, and cows are the symbol of the most valuable food. Those these two living creatures, the brahmanas and the cows, must be given all protection. That is real advancement of civilization. In modern human society, spiritual knowledge is neglected and cow killing is encouraged. It is to be understood then that human society is advancing in the wrong direction and is clearing the path to its own condemnation. Okay, so very much aligned to what Supreme Personality of Godhead is saying to four Kumaras, that uh, those who are considering uh, cows, brahmanas, and defenseless creatures go to the hellish planets. That's the destruction of the civilization. So our current society is actually, first of all, uh, Vedic culture is being looked down upon. They're making various movies, various talk shows, various writings which are actually looking down upon, and that is the um, that is the degradation of the society, which is bound to happen in Kali Yuga. And the only cure for that is engaging in kirtana, nama sankirtana. Similarly, there are so many slaughterhouses running all over world, which are um, on one side, uh, we are drinking the milk of the cow, and other side, we are mercilessly killing. Okay, so what further degradation can happen? Okay, so we'll see that in the context of cow as well. Shastras define that there are seven mothers. आदौ माता गुरुपत्नी ब्राह्मणी राजपत्निका धेनुर्धात्री तथा पृथ्वी सप्ता सप्तैता मातरा. There are seven mothers defined. Adav Mata is the real mother. Guru Patni is the wife of the spiritual master or the acharya or the teacher. Brahmani is the wife of a Brahmana. Rajpatnika, the queen. Dhenur is a cow. Dhatri is the nurse. Uh, Tatha Prithvi, and the earth. These are the seven mothers defined. So cow's position is of a mother. So uh, that's the reason we have to give protection. Shastras explain that all the devatas, all the demigods, including Lord Brahma, Vishnu, and Lord Shiva, they all reside in the body of a cow. Okay, and even modern research is showing that uh, because uh, because cow is so peaceful animal, coming in touch with uh, cow can give us so many health benefits. So we are looking at uh, spiritual benefit, but at the same time, serving cow has also health benefits, material benefits as well. We also see, we must have heard that, I heard it long time back when I was young, that because some study was done, some scientific study was done, and then cow's milk was declared as a complete food, complete food which can nourish. And it's so wonderful that cow is grazing simple grass, which and then converting that into this delicious, wonderful milk with a golden hue, in the butter and ghee and in the milk, and then it can be used to nourish our body, mind. So cow has a very special position. Then the final is other shelterless, living beings, and Prabhupada especially mentions about uh, the Matajis, and then this is what Manusmriti says, that yatra naryastu pujyante ramante tatra devata yatra etastu na pujyante sarvastat afala kriya. That's not fala, that's afala. The sandhi with tatra and then afala, it has become sarvas tatra afala kriya. Okay. So it's very clearly mentioned that yatra naryas to pujante, the place where a woman is honored, ramante tatra devata, there is the nivas, there the gods are pleased and then they stay there, they are happy. And yatraitastu na pujyante, and then where they are not honored or worshipped, uh, tatra of falah kriya, all the rites, sacred rites, uh, they have no rewards, they have no result. Now uh, this is very important, to understand, and then Prabhupada is actually mentioning uh, in the purport that just as children are taken care of by parents, women as a class should be taken care of by the father, husband, or grown-up son. So it's very, very, very important. So important. And we have wonderful examples in our community as well. You see, Madhupati Prabhu so nicely taking care of Mataji. And that's a wonderful example being set by Acharan, and by leading by example, that how a son should take care of his mother, and then so that's very 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 important, because all these, if we read very carefully, it's saying that tatra afalah kriya, yatra etastu na pujyante, where women are not respected, no sacred rites, so including because we don't consider harinam as a you know ritualistic activity, but at the same time, I don't think I would be wrong to say that if on one side we are not respecting brahmanas, cows, and other shelterless beings, and on the other side we expect that we will please God. Here Krishna is very clearly saying that it's actually not possible. Supreme Personality of Godhead is very clearly uh, mentioning that. So sorry. Then now what to speak of the uh, the nari, but the position of a mother. This is another verse which says, upadhyat dash acharya acharyanam shatam pita sahastrum tu pitrin mata gaurvena atirichyate. So acharya is 10 times more venerable than a sub teacher. Okay? And the father is 100 times more venerable than the acharya. The respect, it's putting that how we should what is the degree of respect to be given. And then here also we see that the mother is 1,000 times more venerable than the father. This is again a verse from Manusmriti, which says that what should be our mood when we are taking care of the mother. Okay, and we see that um, cow is one of the mother. Of course, our mother is mother, and I was thinking about this and then seeing that one of the reasons uh, why ISKCON is flourishing, because we respect all the Matajis by calling them Matajis. We are putting them in the position of mother. Okay, and that could be one of the reasons. That is one of the reasons why ISKCON is flourishing so nicely. So it's very important that um, culture, Vedic culture as a holistic is taken up. Okay, and then one of the important limbs of this culture is providing respect, and primarily the respect to uh, the cows, brahmanas, and the Matra Shakti, the ladies, Matajis. So with that, I think we have come on the time. So like to stop here, and if there are any comments, questions, corrections, we can do that in Nityam Bhagavad Seva. Hare Krishna. Over to you, Madhupati Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Akhilesh Krsna. We'd like to wish you all a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. We'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Nrsimha, Jai Nrsimha, Jai Jai Nrsimha, Praladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Bindam, Ugra Veeram, Mahavishnu, Sarvatomukam, Nrsimham Vishnam Bhadram, Nityam Namamiham. Nrsimha Bhagwan ki Jai, Maharaj ki Jai. Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the summer Vaishnavas. Vancha Kalpatarupasya Patitanam Pavane Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Vaishnavinda ki Jai. Granthar Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Gaur Hari 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 Bol.
Thank you.
Thank you.